Hello everyone, this is Betsy from Ideas Times 2. Welcome to our channel. We're so excited you joined us today. We know you could be doing 1,000 other things that we all need to do, and you took a few moments to be with us today, so we do appreciate that very much. Today I have a very fun project that doesn't take much time, and it doesn't use very many extra supplies. It's actually a good way to use up a lot of scraps and different things that you have laying around. Just gather up a file folder, papers, and you're good to go. So it's a very fun project. So you can see I've made a couple already. These are a couple. This one is actually in our shop. If you're interested, you can take a peek at that. But what we're making today is a simple one signature journal that uses a file folder for a cover. So you can just, like I said, just grab a bunch of things and put together a fun project like this. So I didn't do a lot of it's not extremely decorated in the middle. It's just that I grabbed all kinds of green things that I had. I did throw an envelope in there, and that has ephemera, but otherwise no pockets, nothing, just like miscellaneous papers, everything green I could find I grabbed. And then this is a slotted pocket, so there is ephemera in here. And on this particular one I also did a little gusseted pocket. It's not a huge gusset, but it's about 1/8 of an inch so that you can hold lots of stuff in it. And it's just closed with this button and string closure like that. So obviously those things are optional too, but you could just make a basic journal, which is the papers. I think it's just so fun. And then this, I have an eyelet and ribbon closure. So you can see it's just collaged up here, and I have fabric on the spine to reinforce the spine a little bit, and there's paper on the back. So a little bit about file folders real quick. I grabbed this. It's a pretty good quality. It's just the typical kind that we use in America here. So it's a little shorter than 12 inches, and including the tab there, it's about 9 inches. So it's just kind of a typical file folder. This is a pretty good quality, which could be used all by itself to be the cover. But if you have a little bit of a thinner one, or even just want to strengthen this one a little bit, I do put paper on the outside cover and on the inside cover. You can see there's some decorative paper there. So, and it's, when I say paper, it's cardstock, so it makes it a little bit sturdier. So basically just paper to make it this sturdier. The back is that way too, and the back inside cover as well. And that makes the whole cover nice and sturdy. And then I use fabric for the spine, both the outside and the inside. You definitely don't have to use fabric at all. I think it's a nice touch. I like to add a little bit of texture. And even if you just had one strip of fabric, you could just do the outside or the inside just for a little reinforcement too. You can do the spine various ways too, but today I'm just going to show you how to just sew it right into the spine. And the spine, when I say spine, it's the fold of the file folder. And that's what we're using, just very simple. Let me show you this one real quick. This is more of a Valentine's theme that I made. This would be a fun gift for like a Galentine gift or something like that. So I just use silk to tie around. I don't have an eyelet in this one at all, so that's even simpler than an eyelet one. But this does have a flap. So if you are interested in, but you can see it's the same, right? Basically the same. If I cut this off, this is exactly the same style that I used in making this one. So I'm not going to go over the flap part today, but if you are interested in that, please drop a comment and let me know, and I would be happy to do a tutorial on this style as well. But really close to the same. I didn't put the flap pocket here. I just put a tuck spot so that my main reason for that is because I liked this paper and I wanted to keep it and not cover it up so much. Anyway, but a giant tuck spot like this, you can also tuck in a lot of stuff. So, and that's actually easier than the flat pocket as well. So lots of ways you can make this even simpler. So let's get to making. So I'm just gonna put this one to the side. I'll keep this one handy so that I'll probably refer to it off and on. All right, so the first thing to do is cut our file folder. And we're not going to use any of this edge, none of these tabs. We're just going to be using all the part with the fold. So it will be cut. I think this is 6 by 9. It is actually more like 5 3/4. I'm going to write this down so I don't forget. I would say 5 3/4 for the front cover by, what did I say, 8 1/2 for the top, or for the height of it. I'm not even going to open it up and cut it. I'm just going to cut it with both layers together. So we're just going to go 5 3/4 this way and 8 1/2 inches up this way. So let's just do the 8 1/2 first. Remember, this is the height of the book, so the spine is going to be parallel with your measuring apparatus here. Okay, so now we have, oh, make sure to keep these too. This comes in so handy for tags, tuck spots, pockets, all kinds of stuff. All right, so now we have a height of our book. Now we need the width, which is 5 3/4. And so, like I said, we're not going to use any of the open part, so that is the part we're going to cut off. So it is 5 3/4, like that. Okay, and just make sure to save these. I use those all the time, tabs, all kinds of stuff. Okay, so here is our basic book cover. Let's take a look, like that. We're using that natural fold, okay? All right, now what I like to do, as I did on this one, is to round the corners, just because otherwise these sharp points have a tendency to get worn down really fast and bend and different things, and so we're gonna round this off. If your file folder is real thick, you might not be able to do two like I'm doing right now, but I did both of them at the same time. Okay, all right. Okay, so now is our decision time. I decided to make a strawberry journal. You don't have to have a certain theme. I kind of like to do themes, well, clearly, as you can tell, right? But I decided to make a strawberry journal. You could just make generic, like total junk journal style. Well, you find maybe you'll find a fun image for the front and just grab a bunch of papers for the inside, and that's perfectly fine too. So I did already tear these, and I have a plan to use these, but I can see I need to make them a little smaller. And then my other, let's see if I can find them now. Did I lost my sheets? I have, here they are. I have little piece of cardstock. I have a little folder with strawberry items in it. I just kind of like to keep my things organized that way. And so I looked in my file and I had some cardstock that has strawberries on it. So I will be putting some cardstock on the back, probably this one. And then I think these were the size I needed for the inside. So I've got two already cut for the inside, but I can see I'm going to need to trim a little, which is fine. I was just sort of guesstimating on my cover. So let's do maybe let's do the front first. Let's do the front first. So before that, though, I do need to decide on the spine. I did cut something out already, and so it's going to look like this. And then the decision would be if you want your image underneath the fabric or over the top. And I think I'm going to go over the top. So now's the time to go ahead and put the spine on. So this is just a matter of gluing. I usually put a little bit of interfacing on the back of mine. You certainly don't have to do that, especially if you're careful with gluing. You don't have to do that. I do it so that I don't have to worry so much about the glue part. And normally I like to sew down the edges of these, but since it's going to be covered, I don't even need to do that. I might stitch a little bit. I'll tell you what, that's what I'm going to do. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to glue this down, and then I'm going to stitch along the edge of the whole folder. I did do that. I don't know if you can see it because I did stitch around these designs as well, but I'm going to stitch around the whole folder. So I'll go off camera for that, but let me just show you the gluing of this. I might just go ahead and do the inside spine as well. Well, maybe not. Let's just do the outside of the whole book first. And I just ripped the edges. All right. Sort of give that a little bit of a I don't know what the right word is, but I'm just going to even it out a little bit so that there aren't any big globs of glue on there. And so all I did was just center it with the fold, center with the fold. Okay, now I'm going to smooth that out and make sure that's glued down really well. I sometimes don't get my corners very well, so I'm going to go ahead and put a little spot of glue there, although I am going to be sewing it, so it should be fine, but I'd rather be safe than sorry, so I'm just going to put a little spot of glue there. You can use colored file folders too. This one, clearly, I guess, because this one is a vintage hanging file folder, and it's that lovely green color. And actually, now that I look at it again, this is a colored file folder too. It's plum, a kind of a plum color, and on the inside, let me get this undone. The inside, you can see just from this that it's kind of a mauve color. So those colored file folders are a lot of fun to use too. I think I've used them before for like, I had a purple one I think one time, and I used it for an iris journal. So anyway, I was checking these corners and those look good. All right, now I'm gonna be right back. I'll take this to my sewing machine and I'm gonna sew around the edges, and I'll probably ink around the edges too, and I'll be back. All right, I'm back. So I stitched around the edge. I just had a burgundy color, and this is a brighter red, but you can't actually tell. And then I inked around the edges on both the inside and the outside. I'm in desperate need of ink. I just, drives me crazy. But I need to remember to do that maybe tomorrow. We're supposed to get lots of snow, so we'll see. We'll see. All right, so I had showed you this already, but I had to cut this down a little bit, and I did stitch around the edge and inked around the edge. This is the back, so I think the back, I'm just going to go ahead and glue. It is cardstock, so that's going to make our cover a little bit sturdier. So get all the way to the edges. Glue that down really well. And I did round the corners too because the cover had rounded corners. I think I just, on the Irish one, I just ripped my paper, but this one I just went ahead and gave it some straight edges, which is fine either way. You don't want to get it too close to the fold, and I wanted to leave a little bit so I could show off the fabric a little bit. So, okay, so now the back cover's done. Also, this paper's kind of busy, so I thought maybe I would glue, because I do like to put just a little something on the back, but no, I don't know, it's totally probably not necessary because this paper's kind of busy. Okay, so back to the front. Let's do the front. I did glue these papers together. I kind of showed you before. what they looked like. But so this is cardstock in the back. That's gonna reinforce our cover a little bit. This striped is just wrapping paper, and I thought it looked good behind there. And then this is just a digital page that I had. And it looks like I need to, since this didn't get covered in the stitching, I need to glue just a little bit more right there. Get that down. Okay, all right, so this is a nice, little sturdy piece. Oh, I did decide to put some buttons on, and I've been torturing myself trying to figure out where to put them, because I think it's fun. I kind of like it up here, but I don't really want it to cover up that whole phrase up here. So I think I might just put it right here, kind of to make it look like a label, maybe. Give it that look anyway. So just gonna glue this on. It's fabric, 2 layers of fabric. One is just a cotton, and then there's a canvas, and I just stitch those together with a zigzag, and then I put 3 little buttons on with twine. So super simple, just to give a little dimension to that cover, a little interest. So I know I have to cover up these words here, but I'm going to put that there. And then, because I think what I'm going to do is do the eyelet closure again. Maybe. I have this ribbon, so I'm trying to decide on that. It doesn't really match, the reds don't match too well, so I might not use that, but I was hoping I could find a place to use that, maybe as a belly band somewhere in the journal or something. I don't know, but anyway, so this is ready to go, and I'm going to be gluing this. And then the outside cover is completely done. And then we'll work on the inside. And you don't have to put in those pockets that I had used, or a tuck spot or anything. You can just have it with just paper and have it strictly like a writing type journal with no tags or ephemera needed. You could do that way. Alright, so this I need to center a little bit, and I did, stay away from that edge a little bit because we don't want that to interfere with the fold. And it is torn edges, so it doesn't need to be totally straight, but I do want to make it look as nice as I can here. So okay, so there's my cover complete on the outside. Now the inside. And I am going to put fabric here, and I found some fabric. So this is some cute fabric. I think it's maybe a tiny bit busy, but I think it'll be, I think once you get it all put together, I think it'll be fine. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. It's just so cute. Fact is, I had a red one all cut out, and I'm like, nope, I'm just gonna go busy. I'm just gonna do it. So what I'm doing now, I had put interfacing on here, as you can see probably, although this is a light fabric, isn't it? But so I'm just going to glue this down just like I did the other one, and I'm planning on putting papers over the fabric, so the edges aren't going to matter a whole lot. We want it to be stable, but anyway. Alright, so center it. Side to side, up and down. I'm going to pull it up a little bit. There we go. Now, let's see how I did. Yep, looks good. Really smooth that down. We do want it to be stable, like I said. Alright, and then we'll go ahead and do these. Let's make sure my measurements are okay, and they're not. Yeah, I need to cut these down a little bit. in fact, as I was choosing not to sew around these edges, just to show you guys that you don't need to sew around it. So these are not, typically I would kind of want to do that, but definitely not necessary. Gluing that right over the fabric spine there. Spine reinforcement. I guess the spine, there really is no spine, it's just a fold. So, but I keep saying spine because you guys know what I'm talking about. Alright, make sure you get those edges really well. Give it lots of glue love. Alright, boom. There we go. So cute. Alright. And then you can choose what kind of pockets or whatever you'd like on here, or nothing, right? We already talked about the nothing part of that. So I will show you though, this is kind of cool thing, an option for you. So I wanted to show you that this slotted pocket is a freebie on our Facebook group. So if you go to our Facebook group, and the name is Ideas Times 2, all one word, Ideas Times 2. It is a group. You do need to ask to join, and we get back to you pretty much right away, and we'll approve that. And then if you go to the files section, there is a template for this slotted pocket. It's a bigger size, so that it fits nicely in a 6x9 journal. And as you can see, you can put tons of little things in here. So lots of things. And even the back is, if you leave it open, you just glue around the outside edges of the 3 sides, right? And then leave the top open. And then you can put all kinds of stuff in the back as well as the slots. So that is a freebie. It's helpful so it's something you have to trace around and cut out, right? So you cut it out. Make sure to use cardstock or just a file folder maybe, and then put paper on top, and then glue the paper on, and then cut it out, and you'll have a nice sturdy pocket. I sewed, like I mentioned already, I like to sew, right? So I've sewed around the outside edges of all the places, but you definitely don't have to do that. So anyway, that's a freebie. Please peruse that and join our Facebook group. We'd love to see you there as well. All right. Yeah, somebody mentioned doing another random act of kindness list. And so maybe that is something we should do. I'll figure out maybe some logistics for that, and that'll be fun. So this is the basic book, the basic cover. I've put together pages. So I can't remember if I mentioned that those 2 journals that I have already made have 72 pages, and that includes fronts and backs. And so I've put together another signature just like that, where I've just used all kinds of papers from digital kits, scrapbooking pages, ledger graph. I did put a red envelope in here. I was experimenting with lace dyeing with colored inks, and so I've got a lace page in there. Here's the envelope. So I'll probably put some ephemera in there too. But as you can see, it's mostly plain. I'll probably put some stenciling and some washi tape. I don't know where I put it now. I have some washi tape that has strawberries on it, so super cool. All right, so I'm going to do a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. I'm going to stitch this directly into the spine. I might do like a green thread. I think that might be fun to tie in some of this green color here. And I will speed up this portion of the video. All right, and there you have it. Love it, love it, love it. So then I will, this is your basic journal, and it could go just like this. I'm going to put some eyelets in here, I believe. So let me mark that. And also speed up this portion. Let me just, okay, I'm just going to mark that. There we go. I'm going to put an eyelet in the front and in the back, and then have a ribbon or silk closure right here. So I will speed this up as well. All right, there you have it. Our fun little one signature journal. Super easy and super fun also to give it a theme, which I enjoy doing, so that makes it even better for me. But as little sewing or as much sewing as you like, a perfect little gift too. And let me bring out my other ones so you can see them all, and have fun with this. I hope you guys do this project and let us know. Let us know in the comments, or show us pictures on our Facebook group. We would love to see that. Thank you for joining me, everybody. Have a wonderful new year, and we will catch you again in the next video. Goodbye.